What's going on, guys? Nasher here, and today is day number 3 of Nasher's 7 days of videos. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. Today we're going to be doing something that people have been requesting for months now, and it is an in the bag video. So I've got my hockey bag there, took all my equipment and laid it out around the living room, and I'm just going to go piece by piece and explain every piece of equipment that I use. So I figured this would be a nice and chill video. I'm not going to do any editing or anything. We're just going to walk and talk and have a good time. I'm going to start out with some of the more boring stuff like shoulder pads, elbow pads, and shin pads, and then we'll move on to some of the more exciting stuff like skates and sticks, which I'm sure you're dying to see. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. So first piece of equipment I'm going to go over is the shoulder pads. We've got Nike V7s. These things are retro. I've had these since, I want to say, before high school. They are a little bit small on me, as you can imagine, but I actually really like smaller shoulder pads. I feel like it allows me to have some more space, especially when dangling up close. These things have held up well for me. I can't complain about them, and I've just gotten lucky to be able to keep the same pair of shoulder pads over the last 8 years plus. Next we'll move on to our elbow pads. So this is just an old pair of Easton ST4s. Again, elbow pads are something that I don't really care about, so I'm not going to invest a ton of money in them. Next we'll move on to the shin pads. So this is an old pair of Vapor X20s. Again, I've used top of the line shin pads before, and I don't notice much of a difference compared to this lower end model. I think this might actually be one of the lowest models, the X20s. But again, can't complain about them. They haven't broken on me. They don't feel any heavier than a nicer pair, and they get the job done. Next, we'll move on to the pants. So this is an old pair of Easton Synergies, if you remember those guys. This, of course, is pretty old as well. I've got a nice tear here, a couple rips down here. It's about time for an upgrade, but I will say the one thing that I like about this is the skate lace around the waist. If you're not rocking that, I highly recommend it. It makes you look like a better player, and we all did it in high school and thought we were cool. I've just kind of kept it on there, and I think it's a nice stylish addition if you're looking to up your style game out there. Next we move on to gloves. So we've got a pair of Bauer Vapor X 5.0s. These are white. They were white, as you can see here. Here's what they looked like when we started, and then we've got sort of a brownish gray tint that has occurred, especially with using these things outside. So I've had those since high school. I actually got them because they match our high school uniforms well. But now I don't know if I would buy white gloves again. They get dirty really easily, and you'll get a ton of crap for using them. But I really like that pair of gloves. Next we move on to our beer league jerseys. So we are the Gong Show, if you didn't see that. So it's a nice and simple design with the gong in the middle, and then we've just got some stripes on the side. I really like this jersey. I actually didn't design it, somebody on our team did, and I feel like he did a really good job with it. Next we move on to the last piece of boring equipment, I'd say. Just a pair of Mission roller hockey pants. My buddy actually gave me those for free, and I've just been using them as long as I've been playing roller hockey. So again, they get the job done. That's something that you'll hear from me a lot. Next, we'll move on to helmets. So I'm sure you want to see my GoPro hockey helmet mod. So this is the hole that I actually cut out so the GoPro lens can fit right through there. So I haven't really explained this too well, but you could kind of see it in my recent ice hockey video. So the GoPro kind of sits in here, and then it sits up directly against my forehead. So my forehead presses it up so that the GoPro lens comes here and sticks out of the helmet a little bit. So honestly, I would not recommend doing this. I don't think it's entirely safe, but for me, playing in a no-contact beer league, I figure it will be fine. We'll move on to, this is the helmet that I use for roller hockey and for outdoor. So I've got the GoPro mount here. If you're wondering where I mount my GoPro, I think this is personally the best place to do it. Some people have it a little further back and you're not able to see everything, or you'll see the tip of the helmet, and this is a great spot so that you can't see anything but the game. We also have the U-Hawk mounted on this one. I'm thinking about using the U-Hawk more on the ice. The only reason that I prefer the GoPro over the U-Hawk is because the U-Hawk lens is not as wide as the GoPro, so especially during ice hockey, you can't really get a good view of the stick and the puck, and for me, trying to record dangles and stick handling especially, you have to get a good view of the puck. So that's the only downside of the U-Hawk. Overall, it's a great camera. I've been talking with the founder of it a little bit, and he said they're doing some big things there. So there's going to be some cool products coming from them in the future, and hopefully they'll catch up to GoPro in terms of quality. Alright, so there's helmets. We will now move on to skates. So I've got a big line of skates. I only actually use a couple of them still currently, but I figured I'd give you guys a rundown of everything that I've used over the years. So this is what I currently use for roller hockey. We've got the outdoor season starting up soon, and you guys are going to be getting tons of cool videos from that. So this is an old pair of X40s. This is an ice hockey boot. As I mentioned in my review of the product, you have to take an old ice hockey boot to put these Mars blades on. So had these professionally mounted. I use these for outdoor training a ton especially, and they have been extremely helpful, especially when transitioning from roller hockey into ice. I personally don't think I could go back to using standard roller blades. I just love these Mars blades a lot. If you want to buy the Mars blades, little plug here, you can use code Nasher61 at marsblade.com to get 10% off your order. Alright, so we'll move on to ice hockey skates. So this is what I'm currently using. Got these last year. This is the X500 limited edition. They actually used to have they actually come default with these red laces on them. I kind of replaced it with the white because I thought it looked a little better. I think the red's a little obnoxious, but it's a great looking skate, especially with this red finish here. They look actually more like the Supreme series, sorry. But the red here makes it distinguishable, and it really does just look nice and clean out there. Overall, it's a great skate, especially if you're not looking to spend, you know, $500, $600 on a pair of skates. This is a good compromise. So this is my old pair that I use in indoor mostly. So this is Bauer Vapor X60Rs. It's got the high-low, so bigger wheels here, smaller wheels here. Again, a great skate. This is like middle of the line. I've actually never used a really expensive pair of rollerblades, but these really worked well for me. I borrowed some wheels from friends, so I've got just a nice set of Lebeda wheels, and then these are the default Bauer ones. Great wheels, great set of skates. That's what I would recommend if you're especially on a budget. I think the X60Rs are great. And then this is, even before I had these guys, the XR3s. I don't think they make anything like this anymore. I think this is the current model they're going with. But we got some Lebeda wheels on here. These are, if I want to play with some buddies and they don't have skates, I'll usually give them those. So there's all the skates that I use, and we will finally move on to the sticks. This video is a little bit longer than I expected, but I hope you guys are enjoying it. So we'll start and just go kind of left to right. So first stick is my outdoor stick. This is an APX shaft and then a Sherwood ABS blade. If you're not using the ABS blade outside, you definitely should. It's kind of it's not necessarily wood like a normal wooden blade. It's got a little bit of plastic in there, so it lasts a little longer, especially on concrete if you're playing on a rough outdoor surface. Next we'll move on to the stick that I recently got, actually the next two sticks. So this is the CCM Ultra Tax. I know you guys have all seen that. I did a shooting video with this thing 2 videos ago, so you should go and check that out. Really good stick, and I've been enjoying this a lot. Even on the ice, it's a very good stick. Next, I think this is my new favorite stick, the Bauer Supreme MX3 limited edition. I used this for the first time yesterday, and boy, it is a beauty. It looks sick. It's one of the nicest looking sticks I've ever used, and I've just been really enjoying it. I think the backhand on this thing is unreal. I don't know why it's the same curve as the 1X that I have, but the backhand on that thing is just absolutely sick. Next stick is the Bauer Vapor 1X. So you guys have all seen this. I've broken a couple of them and I figured it was time to switch to something new, which is why I got that Total Hockey Mystery Pack. I still absolutely love this stick. I cannot complain at all about it. It's a great stick. It does everything you need it to do, and I really do like the low kick point. I'm trying to get used to the mid kick point of the Ultra Tax and the MX3, but at this point right now, I still think I prefer that low kick point that's in the 1X. Alright, so my old backup stick is a Bauer Total One. This is actually a Dubinsky Pro Stock. I got this at a used sporting goods store for like 50 bucks on Black Friday. I figured you can't beat that deal. I've just been using it as a backup. I personally absolutely hate this flat curve. I'm a big fan of the Ovechkin or the Backstrom P92. But again, just a backup stick, can't complain. And this is a brand new stick that I actually just got in the mail yesterday. This is the No Name brand. Yes, that's what it's actually called. You can see the NN. I'll be doing a full review of this thing. This is a recent brand that actually just came out a couple months ago, and they decided to send me a free stick for me to try out. So that is all my hockey equipment. I'm sorry for the long video, you guys. I didn't expect it to go that long, but I hope you guys enjoyed this full little look at all the equipment that I use. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, we got a video coming out tomorrow, so we will see you. Peace!